Shoulders and hips, crossover, cross-dressing, and trying to fit in. Stereotypes. Children start pretty much the same. The human shape has long legs for an ape and is a sleek appearance like a water creature. By the age of 18, men have expanded slightly across the chest. Whether or not they have more bony faces depends on genetics. Models often retain the thin form, but many men will still carry fat. Subcutaneous fat is a human invariant, and men sometimes have as much trouble with it as women. Often men, like this picture of young Mick Jagger, can stay thin, but even in him you can see the development of the shoulder muscles. However, cultures like that in America seem to prefer the exaggerated build of the muscle builder like Jack LaLanne. There are few men who can achieve this naked ape body, but the entire culture seems to worship it. This is a male stereotype that says silverback gorilla. Girls also start out with the long legs and the subcutaneous fat under sleek skin. Most of them, like you see here with Twiggy, a British model from the 60s, can stay thin, and sometimes fashion favors this look, thinking that it reflects youth. Rather than the normal women, the other female stereotype is the hourglass figure with the small waist in proportion to the hips and the bust. Even manga art makes a point of making females with hips larger than the shoulders. Around the world, hips are considered to be a necessary female asset, denoting fertility, as the male overdeveloped figure denotes aggression. However, most women look a little like these in this picture. From time to time, the belly and the fat has been seen as signs of fertility. Most men are still attracted to them, although most women despise being fat. Fashion goes through phases. One of the most exaggerated hip times was in the first part of the 18th century, when almost all women padded out the hips. Other times, like the Roaring '20s, favored the column look, trying to eliminate the hips entirely. However, fashion exaggerates. Most men have larger shoulders and backs than women. Women often have larger hips than men do. Despite other differences, the upper and lower torso tends to be a gender marker. Cultures have always tended to exaggerate gender, especially in the upper classes. But gender was not necessarily the hips-shoulders differences. During the 17th century, there was a fancy for the new pantaloon that exaggerated the hips. But most cultures saw the large shoulders as a sign of male prowess. You can see this in sports, where football is a sport of aggression and baseball a sport of accuracy, and the uniforms reflect this difference. We begin with this slight gender difference in the paradigm, but it is often seen in reality. Shoulders. At the end of the Victorian age, women started to wear more jackets styled like a man's jacket. They had worn these before, but only in hunting clothes. At first, the jackets were also considered only for outerwear. Many times women had opted for sleeves with large shoulders, but they were feminized, usually puffed or ruffled. The jacket was padded inside the shoulder, so even with puffed sleeves, it made the shoulders larger. By the 40s, the jacket was everywhere, part of the suit uniform worn by working-class women as outdoor wear or for sports. Today, the only real difference between overcoats is that men's button to one side and women's to the other. In the 80s, the tuxedo jacket with the exaggerated shoulder became popular with cross-dressing icons like Grace Jones, affecting an androgynous look. The padded shoulder was popular in women's dresses in the 40s, where it became a fashion statement rather than a men's uniform. This fashion continued into the 50s, where the circle skirt became an hourglass statement with the shoulders. the 80s saw the return of 40s fashion with the padded shoulder. If you have large shoulders or are cross-dressing, these styles that emphasize the shoulders are perfect. If you have large shoulders, merely adopt the style and remove the shoulder pads. Waist height. One of the persistent ways to tell feminine from masculine apparel is in the waistline. I've yet to see a man wear a raised waist. As you can see from this generic drawing, only the style on the right appears masculine. The raised waist has gone in and out of popularity. It is popular with women to support the bust and give room to the stomach. After the first pregnancy, most women will carry a stomach. It is even seen as a sign of fertility. Even when the waist style was small, the hips were padded out. The tight lacing myth is simply a myth. The raised waist is still seen as a sign of femininity. Even in the ubiquitous smock worn by working men, there is no belt on the waist. Even if women wear tunics or smocks without waists, there is still some definition in the bust and the hips, or it starts to look too masculine. Men in the same tunic rarely show any bust and hips. The tunic hangs from the shoulders in straight lines. However, when men do belt the tunic, it is usually below the belly, on the hips, making the upper body appear larger. Men will usually try to appear top-heavy, often with tiny legs. A woman will usually wear the belt on the waist, suddenly appearing as if she has hips and longer legs. Hips. Just as many women have large shoulders, some appearing top-heavy, some men have large hips and legs. I personally like a man to have long legs, not preferring the gorilla look, but I'm in the minority. Men or women who have hips and want to de-emphasize them should opt for the tunic, especially layered tunics or tunics that open on the sides. The tunic has been a popular style since ancient times and is still worn today as something exotic. However, the t-shirt that is large enough to hang over the jeans is also a tunic. If you wear pants that are elasticized and full over the hips, tucking a shirt in is the way to look like you have more hips. Instead, wear the tunic or t-shirt loose and belt it at the hips and not at the waist. Conversely, if you want to seem like you have more hips or are top-heavy and want to look more balanced, the skirt is your friend. Hip padding can also fail in embarrassing ways, but the ruch skirt or height skirt is a way to appear larger in the hips. Layering skirts also works well, and even Victorian designs will sometimes have a tiered or ruffled skirt. In this demonstration by Sheila Sews, you can see the effect of adding more gathers. This is an old trick used by women throughout history to make the hips look larger. Another way to pull out the hips is with a petticoat, the secret of the 50s vintage styles and the Lolita fashions. Modern petticoats are made of tulle, a net-like fabric that is lightweight and stiff. You can find a bell-shaped petticoat or a cupcake petticoat. The bell-shaped circle or half-circle skirt is a surefire way to flatter the female figure. If you are large in the shoulders or hips, creating a long bell in the skirt with matching bell sleeves is very flattering. One of the best combos for trans or large shoulders and no hips is the sleeveless shirt over the gathered skirt. Don't overfocus on the bust. Many women are flat-chested. Gathered skirts are both fun, practical, and very feminine. But if you prefer a tunic, decorate it at the neck and make it oversized so it falls over the chest and is long enough to be flattering. Better yet is the bell pinafore, which is extremely comfortable and will go easy over a large stomach. Freeing fashion. It doesn't matter what shape you are or what gender. What matters most is style and confidence. We live in a wonderful age where it doesn't matter what you wear, as long as the clothing is stylish, made of good materials, fits, flatters, and is worn as if it were a t-shirt and jeans, or more comfortable yet, a pair of sweats.